Imagine a world where the unthinkable never happened. A world where the grandest ship ever built, the RMS Titanic, completed her maiden voyage without incident. This isn't just a flight of fancy, it's an exploration into a fascinating what-if scenario that could have profoundly reshaped the 20th and 21st centuries. We're about to embark on a journey through an alternate history, tracing the ripple effects of the Titanic's survival. Consider the economic shifts, the social transformations, and the technological pathways that might have unfolded differently. Think about the lives saved, the innovations that might have been delayed or accelerated, and even the potential for averted conflicts. This isn't merely about a ship. It's about the intricate tapestry of history and how one pivotal moment can unravel or reweave its threads. Prepare to delve into a reality where the unsinkable truly lived up to its name, and the world we know today might be fundamentally different. The Titanic was more than just a ship. She was a floating city, a marvel of engineering, and a potent symbol of human ambition and progress. Her decks carried a microcosm of society, from the wealthiest industrialists and politicians to hopeful immigrants seeking new lives. She represented the pinnacle of luxury and technological prowess of her era. But what if, on that fateful night in April 1912, the Titanic had simply missed the iceberg? What if a slight course correction, a more vigilant lookout, or even a few minutes' delay had allowed her to glide safely past the icy danger? In this alternate reality, the Titanic arrives triumphantly in New York Harbor, a testament to human ingenuity. In our real history, the Titanic disaster was a profound catalyst for change. It exposed critical flaws in maritime safety, leading to immediate and widespread reforms. The tragedy spurred the establishment of the International Ice Patrol, a vital organization that continues to monitor icebergs in the North Atlantic. It also led to drastically improved radio communication protocols at sea, ensuring that distress signals could be heard and acted upon more effectively. Most significantly, the disaster mandated increased lifeboat requirements on all passenger vessels, ensuring that there would always be enough capacity for everyone on board. These were hard-won lessons, paid for with immense loss. In our alternate world, the immediate aftermath of the Titanic's safe arrival would be one of unbridled triumph. The White Star Line would experience a massive vindication, their reputation for building the safest and most luxurious ships solidified. The Titanic would become an even greater symbol of human achievement, a testament to technological mastery and opulence. Public faith in ocean travel, far from being shaken, would be reinforced, perhaps even reaching new heights of confidence and enthusiasm. The economic impact of the Titanic's survival would be substantial. The White Star Line, buoyed by the success of its flagship, would likely continue to dominate the transatlantic passenger trade. This sustained profitability would fuel further investment, leading to an accelerated development of even more opulent and technologically advanced luxury liners. The cargo carried by the Titanic, which included valuable goods and commodities, would reach its intended destinations, avoiding insurance claims and market disruptions. This seemingly small detail could have subtly impacted trade routes and commodity prices, creating minor but persistent economic ripples across the Atlantic. The social fabric of the early 20th century would also feel the effects. Over 1,500 lives would be spared, including many prominent individuals whose continued influence could have altered the course of history. Industrialists like John Jacob Astor IV, politicians, artists, and countless ordinary families would continue their lives, contributing to their communities and shaping the future. The absence of such a profound collective trauma might have fostered a more optimistic and resilient global psyche. The world, spared this devastating loss, might have approached the tumultuous decades that followed with a slightly different outlook, perhaps less burdened by a sense of human vulnerability. Technological advancements might have taken a different path. Without the immediate impetus for safety innovations driven by the disaster, the initial focus might have remained on luxury, speed, and comfort. However, the inherent human drive for progress would still lead to innovations, albeit potentially at a slower, more organic pace in some areas. Conversely, The successful demonstration of long-range radio communication on the Titanic's maiden voyage, without the tragic context, might have led to an earlier recognition and accelerated development of this technology. Its potential for commercial and military applications could have been realized even sooner. The impact on World War I is a fascinating speculation. The absence of the Titanic disaster's collective trauma, which contributed to a sense of vulnerability and perhaps a more cautious global mood, could have subtly altered the political atmosphere. While complex geopolitical forces were at play, a world less scarred by such a monumental peacetime tragedy might have approached the brink of war with a slightly different temperament. It's conceivable, though highly speculative, that the war could have been delayed or perhaps even averted if the global mood had been less volatile. The public perception of technology and progress would be overwhelmingly positive. The Titanic's success would reinforce a strong faith in human ingenuity and the ability to conquer nature. This would foster a greater willingness to embrace new innovations and maintain a more optimistic outlook on the future. The narrative surrounding the Titanic in popular culture would be entirely different. Instead of a symbol of hubris and tragedy, she would be celebrated as a triumph of human ingenuity, a beacon of hope, and a testament to overcoming challenges. The emotional impact of her story would be one of awe and inspiration, rather than sorrow and cautionary tales. Consider the altered fates of key individuals. John Jacob Astor IV, one of the wealthiest men in the world, would have continued his vast investments and philanthropic endeavors. His continued presence could have significantly influenced the economic landscape of New York and beyond, potentially shaping industries and urban development for decades. Benjamin Guggenheim, another prominent figure, would have pursued his business ventures, potentially altering the trajectory of his family's considerable fortune and influence. The thousands of immigrants, many of whom were lost, would have arrived in America, building new lives, starting families, and contributing to the vibrant tapestry of the American dream. Their descendants would exist, adding countless untold stories to the nation's history. This alternate reality paints a vision of a subtly different world. There might be a greater emphasis on luxury and opulence in general, as the unsinkable ship would have set a new standard for grandeur. The economic landscape could feature flourishing industries and new fortunes, shaped by the continued influence of those who survived. The social landscape would be subtly altered, with different alliances, movements, and cultural trends emerging from the continued presence of influential figures and the absence of collective trauma. The political landscape might see different leaders rise, different policies enacted, and international relations shaped by a slightly more optimistic global outlook. The technological landscape would evolve with varied innovations and a different pace of progress, particularly in maritime safety and communication. Ultimately, this would be a slightly more optimistic and less tragic global environment, where a monumental disaster was narrowly averted, leaving a legacy of triumph rather than sorrow. How might the Titanic have survived? Perhaps she was equipped with slightly more advanced technology, like an early form of radar, allowing her to detect icebergs from a greater distance. Or maybe the lookouts were simply more vigilant, spotting the danger moments sooner. It could even be as simple as the ship traveling at a slightly slower speed, giving the crew more time to react. Any of these small changes could have spared the ship and its passengers. The impact on the survivors would be profound. They would be spared the unimaginable trauma of the disaster, the freezing water, the desperate struggle for life. Instead, they would continue their lives, their families intact, their careers uninterrupted, without the enduring shadow of such a monumental tragedy. The legacy of the Titanic would be completely transformed. Instead of a symbol of human hubris and the fragility of life, she would be celebrated as a triumph of human ingenuity and engineering. She would be remembered as a testament to overcoming challenges, a ship that defied the odds and proved the impossible possible. This success would usher in a new era of ocean travel. The White Star Line, riding the wave of the Titanic's triumph, would become even more successful, perhaps expanding its fleet and routes. Other shipping companies would undoubtedly follow suit, investing in even grander, more luxurious vessels, competing to offer the ultimate transatlantic experience. Ships would become even more important for trade, travel, and cultural exchange, solidifying their role as vital arteries of global connection. This alternate world would truly embody a new era of optimism and progress. The world would become a slightly brighter, more hopeful place, having averted a tragedy of such immense scale. Lives would be spared, and the collective human spirit would be less burdened by loss. Yet even in this alternate world, the philosophical lessons of the Titanic would remain. The real Titanic disaster serves as a powerful reminder of life's inherent fragility, the immense power of nature, and the limits of human ambition. The story's continued resonance, even in our reality, highlights enduring themes of human connection, courage in the face of adversity, and the persistent glimmer of hope. Even if the ship had survived, these fundamental aspects of the human experience would still be explored and understood, perhaps through different narratives, but with the same profound depth. So we've explored the fascinating what-if question. What if the Titanic never sank? We've journeyed through an alternate history, imagining a world where triumph replaced tragedy. We've seen how a single averted disaster could have rippled through economic, society, technology, and even the very fabric of global optimism. In this speculative reality, the world might have been a slightly more optimistic, less tragic place, shaped by the continued lives and influences of those who were spared. Yet, the enduring human experience, with its triumphs and its challenges, its moments of courage and its lessons learned, would remain. Now we turn to you. What do you believe would have changed most significantly if the Titanic had completed her maiden voyage safely? Share your thoughts and theories in the comment section below. We love hearing your unique perspectives on these alternate histories. If you enjoyed this deep dive into a different past, please give this video a like. Your support helps us create more content like this. And don't forget to subscribe to Alternatify for more thought-provoking explorations into the what-if scenarios of history.